Have you ever wondered why some dogs slowly relax around certain people while remaining emotionally guarded around others? Not because of treats, not because of commands, not even because of time alone, but because trust, for dogs, is often built through patterns so small humans barely notice them. The pause before reaching out, the tone used after accidents, the consistency of tiny routines repeated day after day. And what makes this fascinating is that dogs are constantly studying these small emotional details, even during moments humans think are meaningless. Because long before dogs understand human language clearly, they learn human predictability. And predictability is one of the deepest foundations of emotional safety. The way you enter their space. One of the first things dogs quietly observe is how people move around them. Not only whether someone is kind, but whether their behavior feels emotionally stable. Some humans approach dogs suddenly. Fast hands, loud voices, abrupt movement. Others naturally slow themselves down without even realizing it. They pause before touching. They allow space. They let the dog emotionally adjust first. And often, dogs trust these people faster. Because in the animal world, respectful distance carries meaning. Creatures that constantly invade space without warning can feel unpredictable, but creatures that allow choice create a feeling of safety. This is why many dogs become deeply attached to people who do very small things differently. People who do not force interaction. People who let the dog come closer first. People whose presence feels emotionally calm rather than emotionally demanding. To humans, these moments feel tiny. To dogs, they become emotional evidence. The emotional memory of reactions. Dogs pay enormous attention to reactions, especially during uncomfortable moments. A spilled water bowl, a mistake indoors, fear during a walk, confusion around strangers. Humans often focus only on the event itself, but dogs frequently remember the emotional atmosphere surrounding the event. Was the human suddenly loud? Did tension appear? Did the room emotionally change? Or did the person remain calm, predictable, safe? Over time, dogs slowly build emotional expectations, not based on perfection, but based on consistency. And this changes something important. The dog no longer feels they must constantly monitor emotional danger. Because trust is not simply believing someone will provide food. Trust is believing someone will remain emotionally understandable. This is why calm reactions during stressful moments often strengthen bonds far more deeply than excitement during happy moments. Tiny routines become emotional anchors. Dogs are deeply sensitive to repetition, not because they love strict schedules alone, but because repetition reduces uncertainty. The same morning greeting, the same gentle voice before walks, the same quiet check-in before bedtime. Over time, these small routines stop feeling like random events. They become emotional anchors. And slowly, the dog begins associating the human presence itself with predictability. This matters because the world can often feel unstable to dogs. Strange sounds, unexpected visitors, new smells, environmental tension humans barely notice. But repeated small rituals create islands of familiarity inside that uncertainty. And familiarity slowly transforms into trust. Not instantly, not dramatically, but through hundreds of ordinary moments layered quietly together. Dogs notice emotional availability. Many people assume dogs mainly bond through activity, playing, training, walking. And while those things matter, dogs also study emotional availability. They notice who looks at them when they enter a room, who acknowledges their presence, who remains emotionally open during quiet moments. Sometimes the strongest trust develops not during action, but during stillness. A dog lying beside someone working quietly, a calm glance exchanged across a room, a hand resting nearby without demanding interaction. These moments may appear empty to humans, but emotionally, they are often full, because dogs are constantly reading whether closeness feels safe without pressure. And when they repeatedly experience companionship without emotional tension, something inside them softens. Their body relaxes more easily. Their vigilance lowers. Their need to constantly interpret the environment begins fading. Trust grows through being understood. One of the deepest habits that builds trust is surprisingly simple. being noticed accurately. Dogs communicate constantly through tiny physical signals. Turning away, lip licking, pausing, yawning, looking back, moving slower. These signals are often quiet requests. Requests for space, comfort, reassurance, slower pacing. When humans repeatedly ignore these signals, dogs may slowly become emotionally withdrawn, not because they stop caring, but because communication begins feeling ineffective. But when someone notices these small cues consistently, the opposite can happen. The dog learns, my feelings change the environment. My signals matter. I do not need to escalate to be understood. And this realization can profoundly deepen emotional security, because trust is not only about protection, it is also about feeling emotionally heard. Why tiny habits matter more than big gestures. Humans often imagine trust is built through dramatic moments, special toys, expensive treats, grand affection. But dogs usually experience relationships differently. They live inside patterns, repeated emotional experiences, tiny predictable behaviors. The person who always speaks gently after mistakes. The person who notices discomfort early. The person who waits patiently instead of forcing interaction. The person whose energy stays emotionally stable. Over time, these habits become a psychological environment. And inside that environment, trust slowly grows. Not loudly, not suddenly, but almost invisibly, until one day the dog begins following that person from room to room, resting more deeply nearby, checking in with their eyes more often, seeking comfort during uncertainty. And many humans never realize those bonds were built from hundreds of moments that seemed too small to matter. Remembered patterns. In the end, dogs may not remember every specific day, every toy, every walk, every command, but emotionally, they remember patterns. How someone consistently made them feel, whether closeness felt calm or stressful, whether mistakes felt dangerous or safe, whether their signals were ignored or understood. And perhaps that is why trust between humans and dogs grows so quietly, not through perfection, not through constant stimulation, but through ordinary moments repeated gently enough that the dog slowly stops fearing uncertainty around you. Because sometimes the strongest bonds are not built through extraordinary acts. They are built through small habits repeated with emotional consistency, until another living being finally feels safe enough to fully relax beside you. To humans, these pauses seem insignificant, but to dogs, patience often communicates something powerful. You are allowed to process the world at your own pace. And this matters because many dogs spend much of their lives adapting to human timing, human schedules, human movement, human expectations.